I just got finished watching a video from Russia Today within the Occupy DC eviction, and I guess that it was because of rodents and loud noises for the reason they had to go. Rodents and loud noises. And I even remembered hearing on the New York one, or maybe it was Toronto. I think it was Toronto. Enough is enough on this one. It was after like 6, 7 weeks. Enough is enough. Yet we have complaints. We, the people, have complaints about dishonest money, dishonest government, and, well, just overall corruption. I do have a little bit of problem with tearing down buildings and then doing the cowardly thing and placing blame on somebody else. I try to use science the best that I can. It works better, I think, than just believing stories. Science works really, really, really well. But now I look at the police situation and the whole Occupy Oakland. They used war strategies to basically trap them. Major riot gears. And then if you look at the Occupy protesters, they are majorly in civilian clothes and little to no weapons for every single person. Interesting. Now, the government does not want to talk about inequality. They don't want to talk about how money is created, fiat currency. They don't want to talk about it. Yet, for so long, well, last few months anyway, we've been pretty much demanding through this occupation that we want answers. Sort of like Jesse Ventura. He's not going out and say, oh, this is all a conspiracy, although he pretty much does, but he has questions, he wants answers. And that's pretty much the way it should be. It's just that we don't get the answers back. Charlie Sheen wanted 20 minutes back in 2009. That's 3 years ago now. He had questions and did not get answers. Yeah, we look back in 2011 in the summer, we had this debt crisis, as we talk about. You hear a lot of it over in Spain, Greece, Portugal, the whole Eurozone. The Eurozone's not doing so well, we will hear. But sometimes it hits us right here in North America, well, in America anyway. As last summer we had the national debt of the world reserve currency having a lot of problems. Oh, the stock market's just crashed on this news. Well, good thing we passed this bill and I just increased the debt limit for like the 90th time or 100th time or something and just keep things going. But no, we won't explain all this type of debt creation and no. Instead, have you ever heard them talking about balancing the budget and reducing the debt? I've already figured out a long time ago that it's impossible to reduce the debt within the current monetary structures, scientifically speaking, of course. So we live in a world of a dishonest money system, dishonest government system. So if you think I diss the government, they have dishonest money, dishonest government. No, they're dissing us, literally. I want to finish this off in the Constitution now, because you'll hear a lot of libertarians, and especially Ron Paul and Ron Paul supporters, talking about getting back to that Constitution and following the values, and I sort of agree with that. And the reason why I'm saying sort of is because, well, on a religious point, just to do a cross-reference, what makes people that much more important 2,000 and 3,000 years ago compared to today? And what makes people more important from the late 18th century compared to the early 21st century? Because in the late 1700s, that's when we had the Constitution written, which starts off, we the people. We the people. Therefore, could not we the people write something like this again? Maybe like a libertation or like a whatever, just the liberty, I don't know, just whatever. It's all a noun, it's all a name, it's just so one can recognize it through word. That's all that means. But it's a noun. So, could we not just write something again? And if by chance we write down a bunch of stuff on different laws and rules that we like, and well, 51% of the nation were to agree with it, doesn't majority rule? I'm just wondering, because I know a lot of times we have like 300 votes for like a whole nation that affects the entire world. The NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, if that's not NWO, New World Order, by definition, then I don't know what else to say. But if we the people could unite and find some sort of strategies that work, then who knows? And I don't know if we could. Again, why are we less important than the people of the late 1700s that decided that, hey, we're going to write this down? So let's just go on the obvious. Either A, Ron Paul does not win the, whatever you call this game of the semifinals, primaries, I think, I don't know. Say he doesn't win that because either A, enough people are not awake yet, that's the obvious, or B, they rig the votes, which, does that surprise you? Dishonest government, 911, there's so many other ventures. And the wars that follow it, it's just so obvious. Anyway, so Ron Paul does not get in, and now we got Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney or Newt Gingrich or something, and, well, just like we used to say as kids, well, it's you're trying to get the best of the two evils or something, it's whatever. You lose or you lose. You lose or you don't win. Which do you want to do, basically? And even if Ron Paul does get in as the championship match versus Barack Obama, which is how I see it, just like war, it's like a sport and it's not a good one. And then maybe he loses because it's all rigged. With that being said, why can't somebody like Ron Paul, who is not a president, but somebody who has supporters, to be able to come up with a constitutional plan? Just imagine having like a few hundred of the smartest people working together, who are libertarians, who are for the freedom of the people based on whatever resources we got. Because the big reason why I'm not a big fan of the Constitution is because a lot has changed in this world over the last 200 plus years. There was no internet, there was no hydro back then. And we're now in a day and age where we have technological unemployment, which, if we figure out as humans, that's a good thing. Because that means all these slave labor jobs that we've never wanted to do will now be done by robots. But it goes even deeper than that. It means that we're able to produce the resources that we need. It means that we are able to do scientific tests like we've never ever done before. Which, quite frankly, is an amazing thing. And that's why I like a newer type of model, because as good as the Constitution really was, and is a heck of a lot better than what we run today, it can still be better. And I'm going to finish this off within what scientifically looks like the facts, because I'm sure at least back in 2008, 2009, you may have heard Gerald Celente talk about current trends form future events. So what is the current trend going to perform when the current trend is that of all these people worldwide doing these protesting? What happens when A, their voices are not only not heard, but they're getting treated like a piece of meat, like cows and pigs type thing? You think they're just going to keep on doing the same things and just saying, yay, yay, yay? You don't think there's a chance that maybe instead of having hundreds of police just swarming in and rushing like a defensive end rushes a quarterback, that thousands upon thousands of individual protesters will do the same. Maybe they'll get away from wearing street clothes into wearing more defensive clothes. And then you have this whole thing about eliminating ammo, the laws to eliminate ammo, and what do you think that's going to bring? It's going to get violent, and I wish it wouldn't, but natural law, and I'm not the greatest at science, but it seems pretty obvious that if they keep avoiding the issues and keep treating them like crap, they're going to snap back. It's just obvious. So, with that being the case, when I go back to this whole ammo deal, they say, oh, no, it's illegal. But hey, the amendment says you have a right to bear arms. You can have guns, but the ammo... No, just like they say you can, it's just like eliminating gasoline, but cars are still legal. Well, geez. What good is a car without gasoline? At least the gas fuel cars. And then, of course, the whole energy thing, because we are so oil dependent and everything. We have cleaner energies, but it's just not profitable. Sort of like how curing cancer is not profitable. Yeah, this whole profit system. Yeah, you won't find a CNN documentary that really cracks down on how this profit system works and how it stopped those type of things. You're not going to hear them talking about how they're suppressing cures, instead rather working on symptoms, especially on the economic model. Yeah, the bailouts and stuff like that, that's all symptoms. And if you want to understand what I mean by symptoms and cures, it's the same thing about like a whole cancer type deal. If you don't eliminate the cancer from the root and you start to do things like give painkillers for anything, yeah, if you have any type of pain, a painkiller doesn't eliminate the pain. It just tells your mind that you don't have the pain and you're fine, or whatever amount of pain's reduced and you can tolerate it. And that's the same thing by objecting all these bailout packages and these things that are just crony. So I've probably I made a longer video than I wanted to. So take care, y'all. Bye-bye.